Hello and welcome to the Lights Camera Lincoln podcast number 2. For those of you watching the video on our website, and we have very limited time to do this podcast, so we're going to have to try and get it out of the way very quickly.
Snappy. To the point.
Speaking of snappy, Walking Dead.
Yes.
New episode 3 of season 6 last night. So please be advised, this podcast will contain spoilers.
A lot of spoilers. Big spoilers. Spoilers that
okay,
I was
the elephant in the room. Glenn's dead.
Glenn died, guys.
Glenn died.
By fault.
Possibly.
Possibly. I think he's very dead.
I think he's dead. There's a lot of people on the internet
who definitely dead.
You know, there's lots of arguments. There's lots of what if Nicholas's body fell on top of Glenn and it hides Glenn. If that's true, I just can't believe that. There were so many zombies there.
Yeah. Even if someone else's body was on top, because you see a lot of guts, you see a lot of gore.
Yeah.
Even if it was someone else's body, I think.
Also, logically,
Glenn's gone, guys.
whenever they've used camouflage in the past, like they've got zombie blood, they've always used a zombie's blood. You can't just use, the sort of blood and guts from someone who died a few seconds ago.
You're going to
smell like a living person.
They're still going to
want to eat you, aren't they? That's just like seasoning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's dead. And to be honest, I hope he's dead. Purely because if they bring him back after that, I won't believe it.
That is true. It's a bit of
I wish he hadn't died, but if they kind of had that ending, with the guts being torn apart, him screaming and covered in blood, surrounded by about 100 zombies, I'm just not going to believe he survived that.
I mean, it'd be anticlimactic as well.
Exactly.
Everyone's kind of mourning him, and then if he's like, yoo-hoo, I'm back, we're going to be like, this isn't
unless it's some kind of huge character-defining moment where, Glenn, because he's maintained his humanity throughout. When they were in Terminus, Glenn insisted they save the people from that the other train carriage. He said, this is still who we are. We still save people. He didn't kill Nicholas when he had the chance. He's always been that guy. So unless he comes back after this and now he's in Rick mode, he's going to grow a beard and start punching people in the face. Yeah.
No, I don't think that will happen. I hope they don't. I think it would ruin it.
I'm gonna miss Glenn. Also, he was
one of my favourites. He was everyone's favourite. Let's be real.
I wouldn't say he was my favourite character,
everyone liked him.
Yeah, he was one of my favourites. I liked him. He was one of the Atlanta 5 from the first season. He was one of the only 5 characters left. Now we're down to 4.
That's so true. R.I.P. Glenn.
Rest in peace, Glenn.
You always shone above the other pizza boys.
Glenn aside, what did you think of the episode?
I was very angry. I was very frustrated. Not at, like, the producers and everyone, because it was a good tactic. Someone needed to die to show that the producers were going to go that far.
I really like that the zombies are a major threat again, because I think all of last season it was just, it was man on man. Yeah. It was only other people that we were worried about. Now we're concerned about the zombies again, and I'm enjoying that. It's been a long time since we've really feared them. People have been killed by them, like Tyrese, but they weren't living in fear of the zombies. They were just in fear of attack by other people, which we've also had.
Yeah, in this episode, spoilers, there were at least 3 people that just got caught by the zombies and eaten. Well, and killed by it.
Do you know
what I mean? They were just being knocked out.
You know, the second an episode starts and there's suddenly about 5 new faces whose names we don't know. We don't know who they are. It's like, you're all going to die. You're all
gone. I know.
It's like the red shirts in Star Trek. There'd always be a couple of new guys in red jumpers who could die.
But I don't know. But I'm not even... It's so frustrating that they could have survived. And there were these newbies that had been bitten and they're gonna turn. So why are they just keeping them? I get that one of the guys, they wanted him to see his wife. I know, but they were going to go anyway. And when they were running away out of the pet shop, and they even paused to save a girl, and she was on the ground, they were never going to get her.
She was getting headshots to her dying moment, though. That was cool. She fell on the ground and was still going.
That was a waste of bullets. I'd have just thrown them the gun and been like, adios, amigos.
I really loved when Glenn and Nicholas ran into that alleyway and they realised they were trapped. There was a fire escape they could have run up, by the way. Before
I saw that
long
too.
before
I was like, go to
the zombies caught up with it. I'm like, you know what? I can see that fire escape. I can see that you put a couch in the way to try and be like, oh, they couldn't go up there and block. No, they could jump over that couch, or whatever it was. They could have climbed up that. I'm not having that as an excuse.
I think after all those years of the zombie apocalypse, they'd have learned a bit more parkour.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, when they first ran in, when they get to the end, they can't climb over the fence. There's zombies on the other side. There's barbed wire.
There were less zombies on the other side. They could have shot them.
And I loved when Glenn just turned around and started shooting at the swarm of about 100, 200 zombies coming towards them.
He was getting angry at that point.
And then ran out of ammo, got his knife out, had a go anyway, even though there was absolutely no chance that was ever going to work. He still gave it a go.
But you could still see like the glimmer of hope in his eye. And when you saw, Nicholas?
I think that was the moment I saw it die.
Pardon?
That was the moment I saw it die in his eyes when he just sort of looked and they were still coming around the corner.
Don't even.
Like, even if he'd got the ones who were there then, there was still more and more coming.
But I was worried because I knew someone was going to die. And then knowing that, it was a bit of a spoiler because when the moment came, you were like, it's going to be Glenn. And luckily Nicholas.
I did not, even at that moment, I did not expect Glenn to die.
Really? You thought they were going to get out of it?
Well, yeah, because it's Glenn.
That is true, but at the same time.
Also, because Glenn has a very different death in the comics. So I thought it was going to be more linked to the comic, but no. So that also was in the back of my mind.
Do you care to share what that is for viewers?
Well, no. There's no point spoiling it.
Yeah, but it's not a spoiler. It's
they might watch the show, but not have read the comics yet.
The graphic novels.
Because the comics are very different. They're very different. There's some kind of key moments and characters and locations. They're kind of the same, but in general, they're very, very different. Because it wasn't until, even when they climbed up onto the bin. Was it a bin? I thought at that point, I still thought he was going to survive because I was thinking, oh, that's perfect. The zombies can't reach them. They can just stand on top and stab them one at a time.
Do you reckon? No.
Well, no, because then the one zombie falls on the ground. Next zombie kind of steps on its dead body. You stab that one falls down. You just create a ladder of zombies. They're just going to kind of be standing on so many dead zombies that they'll just be able to reach them.
Maybe they could have walked over them, in some elegant way. You know what I mean?
So you're suggesting Glenn and Nicholas sort of run and jump, sort of bouncing on the zombies' heads?
Tiptoe through the jungle. I don't know. Anything but letting Glenn die. That's the worst situation, and they let it happen.
Yeah.
It just frustrates me that it kind of didn't need to happen. If they'd have been as ruthless as Rick, everyone's going against Rick because they're saying, oh, he's making the wrong choices, he's being too inhumane.
Yeah.
But it shows if you're too nice, like Glenn was.
It's survival of the fittest.
It is. Glenn was fit, but he wasn't.
But he's dragging along people who aren't.
True.
And it's not just injured people. Those people were dead. They'd been bitten. They were going to die.
And
I'm still on his side, to be honest.
Who, Glenn's?
Yeah, I don't think he made any bad decisions in the moment. Obviously, it's easy to say now, oh, we should have just left those people. But if he'd just done that, we would all be saying, oh, that was mean.
That is true.
That wasn't like Glenn, you know. It was just so heartbreaking when they get to the corner where the building they wanted to set on fire was, and it's just burnt down.
It's been destroyed already.
It's just in ashes, and it's man, sucks. I really liked last week's episode as a whole. It kind of reminded me of, do you ever watch like animal documentaries like about meerkats or wolves or whatever?
Meerkat Manor?
Meerkat Manor. When like all of the big fighting meerkats have all gone away to go and hunt or something.
Oh, yes.
And then like a cobra comes and attacks like the mum and the babies, and like the mum's trying to fight it off. And then like the big dad meerkats arrive back and just rip that cobra apart. That's kind of what it reminded me of when those like 5, 6, I think it was about 5 wolf people, like not literal wolves. I'm talking about Walking Dead now.
Yeah. We're back to Walking Dead.
We're kind of heading away, like, haha, we've stolen some jars of food and this gun, and then they bump into Rick, who just tears them apart.
I know. Rick is so scary. Speaking of Rick, what's going to happen to him next episode? He's got himself in a bit of a kerfuffle, but I do like how he was stressing about losing Glenn and everyone, like, oh, everything's going a bit wrong with the wolves going the wrong way, and then he saw out of the mirror the guys coming down the side, and
Grab
I was
the
like,
AK.
he's gonna go out and sort them out, but no,
Through
he
the
just
wall.
threw. It was. I thought that was really cool,
Yeah.
but then I was like, something. It can't
And
be that
he used
nice.
up that entire magazine. There was no holding back.
I know, but now he's in trouble because, of course, the what is it? What would you call it? Like a caravan
RV.
kind of thing. RV. That's not
It's a recreational vehicle.
That's why I sat. Learn something new every day, kids.
It's an American word for camper van, basically.
Camper van. That's not working.
No.
And then there's people.
I think Rick.
Coming.
I imagine Rick was doubting himself quite a bit in that moment because
You could see it in his eyes.
He's
That was
just
some
like,
very good acting.
man, this is not worked out well. We've lost people. The zombies are heading home. This isn't working, and now I know that the town is under attack. Is there even going to be a town to go back to? I mean, that end shot. I kind of wasn't really paying attention by the end. My eyes were just glazed over. I couldn't see through the tears.
Yeah, see through the tears. That's what I was going to say.
But I'm aware there was an end shot where Michonne... Who was Michonne with? Heath, the new character, the dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah, and the glasses.
He's cool.
I like him.
He's going to be a new main character for certain. And whoever they were carrying, whoever still they were with...
people that should be dead.
They got back to the town, and it was on fire. The buildings had burnt down. Was that the town? I'm assuming they got back to Alexandria. They got to a place and there was buildings that had burnt down. And
I don't think it was Alexandria. I'd have thought that'd have been a wee bit clearer, but perhaps. I don't know.
This is all stuff I would be a lot surer on my facts if we hadn't had such a chaotic day before doing this. I'm
Tweet
very
us
sorry
in. Tell us. Is it Alexandria?
Hashtag Tobias is wrong.
Hashtag let us educate you, Tobias.
Hashtag correcting facts.
101.
But yeah, I was about to say, so I'm looking forward to next week's episode because that's kind of my default go-to, but I don't know if I am now.